Welcome, and thank you for coming to Storytime at the Ecotarium. My name's Kathy, and behind the camera is JoAnn. You'll meet her in a minute. We're going to read a story called Siegfried, written by Cookie Nelson and illustrated by Michael McNenemy. Published by the Ecotarium. So there's Siegfried. Can you tell what he is? Did you say dinosaur? You're right. He's a dinosaur. All right. Siegfried. Siegfried is a dinosaur. He is a Stegosaurus. You see all the plates on the top of his back, running all the way down to his tail? For many years, he lived in downtown Worcester at the corner of Elm and Linden Streets. And he was very popular, enjoyed watching the cars and trucks and people all day long. He was happiest when children were visiting him, or opened their car windows and shouted, "Hi, Siegfried!" Have any of you ever done that? Then one day, the Ecotarium built a handsome new building, and Siegfried was put aboard a large flatbed truck, see there, very big truck, for the ride across town. And for many years, he sat on the front plaza. And the children would visit and talk to him. And then one day, a terrible thing happened. Oh no, what? What happened? Siegfried was moved to the woods. So he was up on the plaza and then he moved to the woods. And Siegfried did not like living in the woods. The children had no idea where he was. And Siegfried was so lonely. So one day, he decided to run away and visit some of the wonderful places in Worcester that he'd heard all the children talk about. Wonder where he's going to go. Early the next morning, before the gatekeeper arrived, Siegfried slipped away, knocking over a few trees as he left. Uh-oh. Looks like he bashed the gate as well. And he headed for downtown. Dun, 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 dun. Have any of you explored downtown? Have you seen Siegfried down there exploring? I'm not sure what I would do if I saw him down there. First, he went to Shrewsbury Street, where he had heard that there were lots of wonderful restaurants, and he was awfully hungry. So he ate about 100 salads. Now, I like salad, but 100? That's a lot. But everyone knows that a stegosaurus is a vegetarian, or in animal speak, an herbivore. It means that he eats plants. And he does love vegetables, so 100 salads, that's a lot. I bet his tummy was full after that. And then he ambled over to Salisbury Street, where he arrived at the Worcester Art Museum. He decided to go inside for a short tour. He enjoyed seeing all the magnificent art, but there were no pictures of dinosaurs. What? He did see a few dragons that looked like distant relatives. Turning around, he flicked his tail, almost knocked over a display case. That would have been bad. After a while, Siegfried became tired and thirsty, and so on the way home, he wandered into Green Hill Park to visit the vernal pools. Have any of you been to Green Hill Park? It's a beautiful park. It's quite large. All kinds of things to see there. So he decided to get a drink in the vernal pool, and he admired his handsome reflection, and he had a very long drink of water. Look how handsome he is. Isn't he pretty? Then it was dusk, and Siegfried needed to get back home. Right? Dusk means it's getting dark, the sun's going down. Yeah, so up Harrington Way he went, and luckily, the front gates were still open. Lucky for him. And the gatekeeper shouted, "Siegfried, where have you been?" Siegfried didn't answer him. He just started walking towards the woods. But the gatekeeper led him up to the front plaza, where there was a big crowd of children, members of the staff, and the director. "Hooray! Hooray!" they shouted. children began to gather around and greet him. Oh, Siegfried was so happy to see them. Look, they're all shouting and clapping and cheering. Hooray for Siegfried! He's back home. Then, much to Siegfried's surprise, the director led him to the front lawn and said, "Now, Siegfried, this is your new spot where everybody can visit with you. But you must promise you won't run away." Siegfried was so happy, he nodded his head. His eye glistened. He's so happy. Look at that face. Look at that big smile. Then everybody went home, and the director locked the gate. And Siegfried looked happily over the 7 hills of Worcester. The moon came up, the stars came out, and Siegfried closed his eyes and went to sleep. Good night. The end. That is Siegfried the Dinosaur. So we were talking about going down and exploring the various streets of Worcester, like Shrewsbury Street and Salisbury Street, and we live on Harrington Way. So I thought if you wanted to put on some dinosaur feet, you could stomp around just like Siegfried did. So this is just cardstock that we trace kind of a big horseshoe shape and then some pointed toes. And then we just cut it right there. So you can actually put this over your shoes. I'll demonstrate. Yeah, easier said than done. There's a 1. And there's a 2. And now, we'll stomp, 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 stomp. Here comes the dinosaur. Stomp, stomp.
So for our special guest today, we thought we would bring you an animal that has been around as long as the dinosaurs. This is one of our Musk Turtles, and his name is Stinky. Can you believe that? So Musk Turtles are really cool, and that's because if he will show us his feet, you can actually see that his feet are really made for swimming. As a matter of fact, he would like to hide under this piece of fake vegetation. There he is. And look at those wonderful swimming feet. Another thing that I recently learned about Musk Turtles was that they're one of the only turtles that can breathe underwater. So this is a turtle you would find in a pond here in Massachusetts or New England, and they're going to eat all sorts of small animals, bugs, and worms, and other tasty things. And so that is our little musk turtle, Stinky.
So here we are looking at Siegfried the Dinosaur, which is what our book was about. But Siegfried is a Stegosaurus, so maybe we can take a closer look at him. He's being safe in this world, wearing his mask, just like we are. So you can see the plates running along his back. And look at those big legs. And down to those toes, very muscular legs. Longer back legs, shorter front legs. And then check out the tail, how it ends in those big spikes that he would use, probably swing the tail around to defend himself. So Siegfried, the Stegosaurus, lived 163 to 100 million years ago during the Jurassic period, the late Jurassic period. So again, he's an herbivore. You can see he's surrounded by ferns and other types of plants. That's when he was alive. He would have loved to eat. So that is a Stegosaurus. That is Siegfried, the Ecotarium's mascot. And over to our right is Uncle Beasley. And this is a Triceratops. And the Triceratops was around during the Cretaceous period, about 80 million years ago to 65 million years ago. The Triceratops, of course, gets its name from the 3 horns on his face. You can see 2 of them. And you can see that big shield that protects the neck. Again, another type of herbivore, so a plant eater.